whether it's a physical or it's an emotional or it's, it doesn't matter where the limitation is. It doesn't matter if it's a finance thing or if it's something internally. It's still a limitation. And we will always have something, but it's God. Even that's why he says he'll take the foolish things to confound the wise. Because it's not about us, it's him who works through us. And when we really get that, when we really, really, really get it, then we won't have a problem doing our assignments.
No.
We'll be like, okay, God, I'll take this on.
Yeah,
But
and like you said, it goes back to reporting to him. Like you
right,
said, going back, even when you get the assignment and you don't know how you're gonna do it, it go back to him. He'll give you the
right,
instructions. When you go back to when you think about Noah, we talked about this before. The big he had the everybody was like, "Oh, you crazy? You this, you that," and he's like, I gotta build this boat because God told me to build it. Something is coming. And it's like he
right.
didn't trust the report of everybody else. He just focused on God and what
Ooh,
God had told him to do. And it's like we have to go back to God, even when we don't know where the resources coming from. All right, God, you're telling me to talk. Well, what am I to say?
you
Even if
know,
he's telling you to speak, God, what you want me to speak? What you want me to say? God, you're telling me this. I have this, you gave me this vision. How do you want me to build
right.
it? How do I start? It's like you have to go back to him.
And that Noah thing, especially for anyone that God has given the word pioneer to, because remember, there was no rain. It had never rained before. So can you believe, even if you're going to be the first to do it, it's like God, like how? And that's why it is so important for us to be able to go back to God to report to him, because it's like, if you don't, you may not be able to do it, because you're going to keep looking around you like to see who else did it. And you're not going to find nobody because he's like, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And it pushes you because God sometimes gives us hard things to do, but we can do it because he knows that we have the ability. We can do all things through Christ. So he knows that we're capable of doing it. It's just that we have to make sure we go to him because it's his vision. It's not
Yeah.
our vision. We may see the vision because he shows it to us, but it's like, God, how am I supposed to do that? Because most likely, if God gave it to you, it's very big, to the point where you may feel very small and it's larger than you. And it's like, how can I do this? There's people who will say, oh, I only have such a, I mess up certain words, or they only had a certain level of education, and they may not be someone who does speeches. People will find every different reason, and it could be accurate, but God is still
Mhm.
calling, even in those places. And as I said, it might be where you might be the first to do it.
Yeah. But look at what you said about Noah. And I guess after this, maybe we could get off of Noah unless God drops something in your spirit. He saves his lineage with what God gave him.
Mm.
So think about that. Like God
Oh,
has
yes,
given you this assignment because it may be to save your lineage.
right. Because remember, that was the only one that was saved.
Yes.
Wow, that is deep.
He may be giving you this very thing because he wants you to be the one to save your lineage. And so
Wow.
he's giving it to you because he knows that you can do it. And he knows that it's in you because he placed it inside of you. It says that he formed us. He told what he said, Jeremiah, before I formed you, I knew you.
Yes.
So he already knew what was inside of you. He already knew what he gave you. It was already, what is it, predestined?
Predestined. Yes.
So it's predestined for whoever hears this